We begin 13 News at 4 today with breaking news out of Marion County.
A mistrial has just been declared in the case of an Indianapolis mom charged in the death of her 5-year-old daughter. Kinsleigh Welty was found unresponsive and malnourished in her mother's home in April of 2024. The 5-year-old was just 21 pounds when she died. Her mother is charged with murder.
Rich Nye has been covering this case. He's live outside the courtroom for us today, where that Marion County judge just declared a mistrial late this afternoon. So, Rich, what happened?
So, Dustin and Felicia, this was juror misconduct in this case. The defense ended up asking for a mistrial, and the judge granted that request less than an hour ago. This was a case where we came back from lunch at 1:15 today, and the judge was meeting with each of the jurors individually along with the attorneys. There was apparently some kind of issue about one or more juries not obeying the instructions about learning things about the case outside the courtroom and discussing that with other jurors. One juror was dismissed, and that left the jury with no alternates. But then the defense argued that other jurors had also failed to follow instructions. The state said they could not legally challenge that position, and so the judge granted a mistrial. Obvious frustration for many involved here, including the grandfather of Kinsleigh Welty.
It's devastating, you know. Without talking to the prosecution, I don't really have all the details of what happened or anything. And as long as we can get back in court and do it again, and you know, that's what we have to deal with right now. It's just so frustrating. You know, it's a roller coaster every time something like this comes up, and especially for this trial here.
Judge James Snyder rescheduled the trial for August 24th with jury selection on August 19th. Prosecutor Ryan Mears just issued a statement. It is profoundly disappointing that this trial has ended in a mistrial because of inappropriate communications between a juror and a witness. This outcome derails months of preparation by the parties and delays justice for Kinsleigh and her loved ones. We remain committed to presenting this case again and securing the justice she deserves. And the prosecutor is seeking a life sentence without parole in this case. This trial was scheduled to last about 7 days into next week, but again, on just the second day of evidence presented by the state, a mistrial is declared, and so Toni McClure will have to be tried again all over from the start. And remember, the prosecution has already secured plea agreements from the boyfriend of McClure and McClure's mother. They will plead guilty to neglect of a dependent resulting in death with 20-year prison sentences, and part of those plea agreements requires them to testify against McClure. In fact, the boyfriend was scheduled to testify this afternoon.